Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I will be reacting or responding to Keemstar's part 1 of Onision interview. It just dropped like a few hours ago, I guess. And yeah, I want to talk about it. So Keemstar is actually breaking this interview into 3 parts. I legit thought that he was breaking this interview into 10 parts because at the end he shows this and it says March 10th and I and I read it as part 3 of part 10 because I don't live in US. So yeah, I legit thought that he was making 10 parts of this Onision interview, but no. He's just making 3 parts. I don't know if I would be responding to part 2 and part 3 of this interview tomorrow and day after tomorrow. I don't know if I will, but I mean, I want to. It would be a good challenge for me to upload daily for 3 consecutive days. I don't know if I could do that, but I've seen other people do it, like with Vlogmas, 30 days of daily uploads. And I think that's really cool. I really like those videos. So maybe I will do them. But instead of talking about Christmas themed stuff, I would be talking about Onision and Keemstar. Okay, so let me talk about the positive things about this first part of the interview. Number 1, nobody is buying Onision's bullshit. The comment section is not on Onision's side, that's for sure. I don't think that Onision was able to push his narrative, at least not in this first part of the interview, so that's good. People see through his fucking bullshit. People see that he was trying to avoid questions. You'll see in a second that he was not answering questions or he was going on long-winded rants and just going off topic and not really answering the question that Keemstar asked. There wasn't much depth to this interview, and this part of the interview is just 14 minutes long, and for 3 minutes straight, 3 minutes out of 14 minutes, Keemstar was just playing a clip from a video by Edwin's generation. So he was just playing a clip by Edwin for 3 minutes straight from one of his deep dives. And he asked him, Keemstar asked Edwin whether he could use Edwin's video, and Edwin said yes, so that's good. I mean, I'm not mad that Keemstar used Edwin's video. I mean, that's good. Another positive thing about this interview is that, hey, Keemstar didn't give Onision any money to do this interview. So that's good. So in this video, I will not be responding to every single part of Keemstar's video. It just doesn't make any sense.
So we talked to Onision about Sarah, and we talked to Sarah herself to have some questions for Onision.
So this is something that Edwin from Edwin's generation talked about in his live stream. Here Keemstar says that he has some questions from Sarah, but it comes off when Keemstar says that he has some questions from Sarah, it comes off as Sarah gave him some questions about what she wanted Onision to answer, as if Sarah wanted to know and wanted Onision to answer these questions. But the thing is that Sarah did give Keemstar questions, but it was more along the lines of Keemstar not really knowing about the whole situation and just asking people what he should ask Onision, Not questions from Sarah, what she wanted Onision to answer, but more along the lines of, hey, these are some general questions that I think you should ask Onision, and not, hey, these are the questions I have for Onision. Does that make sense? Okay.
When these allegations started coming out, and I'm mainly talking about, let's say 5 months ago, Blair White uploaded a video titled Exposing Onision Child Grooming, where she interviews Sarah. And Sarah explains that, basically she came to your home, you guys were her, guardians, and then you guys waited till she was 18 and hooked up with her, right? When this story first came out, September 5th, 2019, how come you didn't respond to this, right away? Why did you just keep quiet about this?
I was under threat of being left by my spouse if I said anything.
So I don't really like that question, he asked, "Oh, why didn't you respond after Sarah came out and talked about the allegations against you? Why didn't you respond?" The fact is, he did. So that question is not good because it assumes a falsehood. Like Onision did not talk about Sarah right after she came out against him. The fact is, he did. Like, there is a blog on his website about this titled "I Would Never Do Anything to Hurt You." I guess that's what the title was, if I remember correctly. I think I go over that on my channel. Don't quote me on that, but I think I did. I think I did. And not only that, he also talked about this in videos, I believe. And I'm 100% sure that Kai talked about this. You know, we all know that live stream in which Kai said that Kai never cuddled with Sarah and nothing inappropriate happened. We all remember that clip. And even Onision himself would go on live streams talking about.
In this scenario, which I think is the main scenario and the main negative points against you, is this allegations of you grooming this girl. How old was Sarah when she first came to your house, and were you actually her guardian? And just kind of explain that briefly.
So first, I'd like to establish that it's enormously debunked. I made a 30-minute video just showing how many times Sarah repeatedly said that nothing happened even when she was well into being 18. She said repeatedly that she was not groomed. She even said if anyone was groomed, it was us.
That's kind of the point of grooming. You're not supposed to know whether you're being groomed or not. A person who is being groomed would obviously say that they're not being groomed in that moment, you know. But the person usually realizes that they were being groomed when they're out of the scenario, you know, kind of like abusive relationships. People don't really realize that they are in an abusive relationship when they're in one, but they realize it when they have left it. The grooming is kind of like that. You're not supposed to know that you're being groomed. You're not supposed to know that you're being manipulated in that moment. But when you're out of that situation and you look at the situation from a distance, you can clearly see the situation. Keep in mind when Onision says that Sarah repeatedly said that she was not being groomed. She was underage. And even when she wasn't, and she was technically an adult, she was a recently turned 18-year-old at that point. And also, I just want to quickly mention this. Him saying that she never said that she was being groomed. And in fact, she said that if there was anyone who was being groomed, it was them. It doesn't make sense because they were the adults in the situation. They were the ones who were in their 30s or in their late 20s. And Sarah was the one who was underage. Sarah was underage when Kai had the power of attorney of Sarah. Sarah was underage when Sarah moved in to these YouTube couple's house because she was having trouble at home. And right after she turned 18, Onision had sex with her.
And so I feel like because I know these texts are so authentic, all I would have to do is show them to literally a lawyer or whatever, and they would, you know, I mean, it's really interesting that this person says they turn stuff into the police because any police officer or agent or whatever can simply look at her repeatedly saying she was never groomed and repeatedly saying that nothing ever happens, even well into being 18. And they would say, what's up? Why is your story completely contradictory? Why does this make no sense?
He is not a lawyer. He doesn't know law. He's not studying law. It's strange how he can claim authority of that when he is not one. When he claims that, you know, other people are uneducated about law while he is also uneducated. And about why is your story so contradictory? Like I've said, when people who are being groomed, people who are being manipulated, when they're asked about that, they will say no. But when they're out of that situation, they can see the situation more clearly. That's kind of the point of manipulation and of grooming. You're not supposed to know about it. And notice, by the way, what was the question that was being asked here? what did Keemstar ask Onision? He asked him, could you give me some general information about Sarah and what happened and stuff like that? But nah, he didn't do that. He didn't give a summary of what happened or stuff like that. He just went on fucking attack. He started defending himself and attacking Sarah. He didn't give a summary of what happened. He just started defending himself and attacking her. He didn't really answer the question. That's gonna be a repeated theme here.
Why does this make no sense?
Right, but didn't you upload a video saying that you did in fact, have sex with her when she was 18 and 5 months, I believe?
I don't know if I said 18 and 5 months, but the point was that Sarah said that even well into being 18, we did not have sex. She was saying 18 and 5 months. In her text, she said, she was repeatedly pointing out that Kai had rejected her, like over and over and over again. And Sarah repeatedly said how badly she wanted to be with Kai in these texts. And Kai multiple times expressed to me that when he thought of being with Sarah, he felt like vomiting because it was such a uncomfortable situation for him. So again, when you have these receipts of somebody saying this to you, and you have a video of them saying on camera, clearly not under duress, clearly completely calm and composed, that nothing ever happened, and they're an adult when they're saying this, that nothing ever happened with Kai, and that Kai's completely innocent, Kai's always been appropriate, and then them going around saying, completely contradictory things. You're sitting here with a person who couldn't possibly win a case against somebody except for, the mob, who doesn't have a law degree, who doesn't actually understand the legal system. So it's a pretty uphill battle for anyone going into this, just because you're dealing with a bunch of people who, instead of going to the police initially, instead of handling this with a lawyer, they went to the masses and clout chased and started GoFundMes and did all these nonsensical things.
Yes. Onision did had sex with Sarah 5 months after she turned 18. Oh, actually, technically speaking, he didn't said that he had sex with Sarah when she was 18 and 5 months old. He said that he had sex with her when she was 18 and a half. So that's a big difference right there. Oh, man. And did you notice that? Did you notice that he goes on these weird, long-winded tangents? At first he says, I don't remember if I said 18 and 5 months old. At first he says that, but then he goes on and on about Kai and Kai rejecting Sarah. But that doesn't really matter. He had sex with her when she just turned 18. 18 and 5 months old. Oops, sorry. 18 and a half. Like, it doesn't matter. He goes on and on about this tangent about Kai and how Kai rejected Sarah, when none of that matters, because he says himself he had sex with her when she turned 18 and a half. And about that video of Sarah being completely calm and saying that nothing ever inappropriate happened to her. Yeah, she was having a breakdown over it. And Onision tries to prove that that video is not real. But I go through his video and actually talk about it in detail. I will leave the link in the description. Actually, no, I'm too lazy for that. I'm gonna leave the link at the end screen, okay? Okay. But again, he goes off on these long-winded tangents about talking about Kai, talking about the video that Sarah made, and none of that matters. He says himself he had sex with her when she turned 18 and a half. So none of that matters. He's just throwing shit at the wall, hoping that something sticks. Because he knows that having sex with someone who is half of your age, when they literally turned 18 years old, is a bad look. So he's trying everything in his power to change the narrative in his favor. And yeah, people see through it, and I'm glad people see through it.
Don't you understand how the internet, right, would just take like the core, I would say the surface information about this and see you as the villain? I mean, this girl who's underage stays at your house. There's videos of you and your husband claiming that you are her guardian, or I think it was just your husband, not you. And then you slept with her after she turned 18. Do you see like how the internet would see this as grooming?
The problem is that everyone and all information points to this person being rejected even well into being 18. So when people push the grooming agenda, it doesn't make any sense, because there has to be some evidence that this person was actually prepared for a sexual relationship as a minor. and there's literally no evidence pointing to that.
No evidence of grooming? You literally had sex with her right after she turned 18. There is no evidence of that. The jokes that you made, I mean, there are multiple instances of Kai joking about him grooming Sarah. The sexual jokes that you guys would make. The fact that she even felt comfortable joking about the NDA that you made her sign. That says to me that, yeah, she was being groomed.
As far as actually being a guardian, I don't know of any evidence that there was a guardian, or I should say people like accused as being adopted parents or foster parents or anything like that. I don't know of a single signed document by myself or my spouse that there was any guardian status. I know that the other person, Sarah's mom, had signed a document saying that we had the right to, make medical decisions for her and whatnot like that.
Right.
But I don't know of any actual proof, or I don't have any recollection that anything was signed on my part to actually accept that role. And it was consistently a joke in our house about it, but no one was actually acting like a parent. And Sarah was around us for a total of 10 months off and on over 2 years. So that doesn't really sound like a guardian. It sounds like somebody that you hang out with occasionally.
So there is a video of Kai saying that, that she is the legal guardian, right? I don't know if those are the exact terms. I don't have that footage right here, but I'm going to play it right now. Roll it.
Greg is not a legal guardian of Sarah. I am.
In that video, is that a joke? Do you know the video that I'm referring to?
Oh yeah, no, I don't at all actually.
I'm sorry, I don't have it right here for you to look at it, but there is a video. I've seen it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's difficult when you're speaking for other people. It's really difficult, like when I'm sitting here trying to talk about what Kai is or is not. But the point is that there's a huge flight records and all that. There's no actual parental indications or anything like that we were ever in a parental status. So someone saying that, that's on them to defend themselves. I can't really speak for Kai, but what I can say is that Kai.
Well, that was an awkward cut there. But, damn, that's hilarious. Onision he loves to talk in behalf of Kai, He loves to talk about how Kai feels. And he loves to talk in behalf of Kai. But, yeah, now he's not gonna talk in behalf of Kai now. That's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. And this is the kind of thing that you should know about your spouse, like whether they have power of attorney of someone else, that's something that you should perhaps know about as husband to Kai, you should probably know about that, especially considering the fact that the person who we are talking about here, the person whose power of attorney we're talking about here, lived under your fucking roof. He's just lying there, or at least trying to bend the truth to fit his narrative. And it's fucking hilarious. In the beginning, him acting as if, he has no idea whether there was some kind of a legal document that was signed or not. Wow. That was so... I don't even know what to say about that, being honest with you. Okay, Kai said that Kai had the guardianship of Sarah. We know that Kai had the power of attorney of Sarah. Sarah's mom signed off the power of attorney to Kai. Onision doesn't fucking say that. And I don't know, that answer reminds me of politicians. I'm not gonna say any names because apolitical YouTube channel. But it reminds me of politicians who speak a lot. They continuously fucking speak. But when you deconstruct what they're actually saying, it doesn't mean anything. They're not talking about any policy or stuff like that. And they're just rambling, That's what this reminds me of. Anyways, so this was the part 1 of the interview. Keemstar will release part 2 tomorrow and part 3 day after tomorrow. I will try to respond to them as Keemstar uploads them. Overall, I would say there were some parts that I didn't like, and I talked about that in this video. Overall, I think he was pushing back on things, and I think that's good. That's good. Overall, I think that, at least judging from this video alone, I think it was kind of okay, So yeah, those were my thoughts on part 1 of Keemstar's interview of Onision. That's all that I have to say. Also, I noticed that a lot of you guys are actually living in America, I just have a message to you guys. Please go and vote. Please do. Vote your conscience. Vote whoever person you think is the best. But please go and fucking vote. Okay? Okay. That's all that I have for this video. Like this video if you liked it. Comment it us down below about what you think of this part 1 of Onision's interview. Subscribe for more videos. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic day today.